Hi, I'm Caia and welcome to China. Today we're going to do a little video about 5 things that you might need to know if you're thinking about either moving to China or maybe coming for a long business trip, or if you just generally want to know a little bit more about what life is like here. So I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get straight into it with number 1. This is going to seem really obvious, but everything is different here. The food is different, the culture, the weather, people, the language. If you're working somewhere, the work culture is very different. Everything is different here. And I think if you just go into the situation knowing that that is going to be the way it is, things are different. If you accept that and you can just adapt, relax, enjoy your time here, then I think everything just goes a little bit easier and a little bit smoother for you. If you're constantly comparing it to, oh, it's different in Ireland, oh, we don't do that in America, oh, it's very different from when I traveled in Europe. Yes, it is very different. Everything is different here. Just accept it and embrace it and enjoy your time in China. That is my tip number 1. Okay, the second thing to talk about is the cost of living. Like many places in this area of the world, the cost of living in China is a lot less than we would pay in sort of Western cultures. Part of that is because a large portion of most people's salary goes towards their housing. And in China, the majority of companies will offer their foreign staff some sort of a housing opportunity. So they'll either provide an apartment for you, or they'll give you like a specific stipend to help you pay for your apartment. So obviously not having to pay your rent every month frees up a huge amount of income from your monthly salary. So if you want to have a little look at the apartment that I'm living in, feel free to watch my video about my apartment tour and leave any comments that you'd like to underneath that. But also, because in China your salary tends to be a lot higher than you would get paid elsewhere in the world, that saving potential generally is there where it maybe would not be elsewhere. Like as a teacher, I get paid considerably more working in China than I would if I was to work in the UK or America. Obviously, it depends how you want to live your life. If you're gonna eat, food at local restaurants, if you're gonna shop in the local grocery stores, your food bills, etc. will be a lot less. If you're always wanting to eat in the international restaurants, or you're ordering from the international supermarkets, then your food bills, etc. will be higher. And I tend to do a little bit of mix of both. Like sometimes we'll go to Western restaurants, but usually I tend to order my groceries and stuff from like local supermarkets. So I try and get a bit of a balance. I mean, we've all had those days where like I'm willing to pay £10 for a box of crunchy nut cornflakes because I want a taste of home, but that doesn't happen very often. So the next thing to think about is the importance of your phone. Now, I know everywhere in the world your phone is important, but especially here in China, because everything is done through your phone. So not only are you ordering groceries, you're ordering fast food, taxis, all of those sorts of things through apps on your phone. But in China, we have this thing called WeChat. Now, WeChat is kind of hard to explain. So it's a way that you can kind of communicate with people. So there's like messaging services that you can use, and it's normal when you meet people for the first time, like you exchange WeChat contacts and you can kind of talk to people that way. You'll also be maybe added into groups if you want to go hiking, or if you're going on a holiday tour or something, you will be added to a WeChat group. And all of the discussions and all of the decisions, etc., would be done through that WeChat group. But in China, the most important thing about WeChat is that is how you pay for things here. China is almost a cashless economy. So it's really tricky when you first arrive here if you don't have a WeChat account set up, and that WeChat account is then connected to your bank account. So when you go into a store and you buy something, all you have to do is scan your phone and that money is automatically taken out of your bank account. It's difficult when you first arrive and you're like trying to pay for things with cash, and they literally will look at it and be like, I don't have any change. And they won't, because no one pays cash for anything here. Everyone pays through WeChat. So that's something that's really important to remember. Also, in the times of COVID, everything to do with COVID testing or your vaccines, etc., is also available via WeChat. So another thing to consider when you're thinking about China is the pollution. I think a byproduct of being such a fast-paced growth economy is that there is quite a lot of air pollution here. The province that I live in, which is Guangdong, is a real textile province, so we do have a lot of factories in the area, and they do create quite a lot of air pollution. A lot of places that you will be living in or working in will have air purifiers. Like my apartment has got in a built-in purifier that I can turn on if I choose to. And in work, we have air purifiers and filters that like we plug in every day. But it is something to consider if you maybe have got respiratory illnesses or if your breathing is just not great. Sometimes we do have to wear a pollution mask if you're outside, and there are days when you know the sun is there, but it's kind of behind a film of pollution, which is really unfortunate. One thing that I didn't really consider before I moved to such a big city is the noise pollution as well. Guangzhou, you know, there's 18 million people here, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of cars, and there is a lot of construction work. You know, everywhere you go, they're building something new, which is great for the city, but unfortunately it can be quite noisy. So one days like today, like you can't really hear anything, but if I were to open my balcony doors, you would definitely hear some of the construction work that's going on across the park, like next to my apartment building. Okay, so the last thing we're going to think about today when we're talking about China is travel. Now, I know we're in the time of COVID, and unfortunately traveling outside of China is quite tricky. You can get out, but you can't really get back in again. But the joy of China is it's such a vast country that really you can see lots of things without leaving China. You can go skiing in the north, you can go to the deserts of the west, you can go to the beaches in the south, you've got all of the cities along the east coast, which are amazing to go and see. So within China, there is a lot to see, and that's how I'm going to be spending my next year, just traveling around China, going to see different places. Once those borders open again, where I am in southern China is a really good jumping off place for pretty much anywhere else in the world. I mean, I've done Bali, Cambodia, Australia, America, straight into Europe. You can get direct flights to all of these places from southern China. So it really, really is an amazing place to be able to kind of start from and go to different countries. So I'm really looking forward to those borders opening up again and being able to travel. The one problem with living somewhere like this is the list of places that you want to go to just gets longer and longer and longer, because everyone recommends places and you're like, oh yeah, that'd be great, I'll go there. So I think my time in China is just going to get extended because I just want to see more of the area around here. So I hope you enjoyed this little video about things that you might need to know if you're thinking about moving to China, or if you just want to know a little bit more about China in general. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I post new videos every week, and I hope that you enjoy coming along with me on my travels. Talk to you soon. Bye.